All right. What's up, gang? How is everybody doing? Sorry, I don't know what was going on there. How's everybody doing today? Big news. Big news, all right? I'm going to get into that. I'm going to get into crypto, like we said. I got some trade ideas. We're going to talk about the SPY. We're going to talk about this. Now, there may have been policy changes a little here and there, but for the most part, I don't know if they have. And if you guys want to educate me, by all means, please, I would love it. You guys, this is going to relate to Gary Gensler and what he said on CNBC this morning, and then the action that was taken after the bell. What happened after the bell? All right, let's go ahead and let's pull it up. Prepare now for jobs apocalypse before AI leaves us all in the dole. Whatever the hell that means. Look at the fear mongering. Gotta love the fear mongering. If you could, again, I'm Justin at Ivy League Trading. We're here to provide valuable, educational, real trading exercises and classes, whatever you want to say, in to be able that you guys can take and use, whether it's swing trading, day trading, mid cap, large cap, small caps, whatever it is. I've been in the markets for quite a while now, 6, 7, 8 years, about 6 years, and then be able to use this stuff for tomorrow. Again, sorry. If you could, like, share, subscribe. I'm trying to get better at this, with time and patience and the hard work, you get out what you put in. I firmly believe that. And I hope you guys can live by that as well. So again, I'm Justin at Ivy League Trading. What's my goal? My goal here is to help you become a better trader. All right, we could start by hitting the like button, the subscribe, and a comment. If you guys want, ask me anything. Test me about the markets, or if there's just something you want to know. All right, this is all free. We don't charge a dime for this. Type it in the chat. All right, type it in the chat. If there's something you want to know about me. If there's a stock you want to look at, I see Ray's got a couple in there already that will pull up. So let's get into it. What happened today? First, we had Gary Gensler on CNBC this morning. Let's pull this up, okay? So what happened? Gary Gensler came on CNBC this morning, guys. All right. If you've ever seen anything about Gary Gensler, like videos for college, because I think he was a college professor of sorts. Okay, for those of you that don't know, and he actually was teach courses on like blockchains and stuff like that. At least from the videos that I've seen Gary before he was head chair of SEC. So, with that said, he knows a thing or two about crypto. Okay, now how does he feel about it? That's a whole nother thing. All right, real quick, the camera, it's going to be back on, guys. Tomorrow, possibly. So I was having some issues with my camera. I just had to fix, randomly it would go out. Have to fix it. Again, a work in progress here. So just wanted to note that out. So again, Gary Gensler is, he's all too familiar with blockchain and crypto and all that other stuff. So what did he say today? The U.S. doesn't need cryptocurrency. He says we already have a digital currency. That's the dollar. That's the yen. That's the euro. That's Deutschmarks. Okay? He's not for it. He said, I don't want it. We don't need nothing new. This is what we have. This is what we use. I really don't give a damn. There's a lot of hate, I feel like. There's a lot of pushback alone just on the idea. He doesn't want the institution to change. Whether the institution is the United States of America, the world, global. All right. I think that we need to really think about who we put in office. Okay. If someone is pushing back on a good idea, whether it brings good, there's consequences for everything. There's consequences in our actions, whether it's good, whether it's bad. There's consequences, okay? But to totally just push this thing out and for so long sit there and try and find people like after the bell. What happened today after the bell? Let me get my notebook. All right, just so I can give you guys proper wording. Okay. So today, the SEC, after the bell, news came across the tape. Okay. Now, sometimes the majority of the time I have it playing. I'm live on YouTube, so you may hear it in the background, the tape that comes through. So the SEC filed a motion to freeze crypto in Binance. What does that mean exactly? Now, I don't know a lot about crypto. I just haven't partaken in it. Okay, would I like to own it? What am I against owning it? No, absolutely not. Would I like to own it? Yes, I would. And when it comes down to reasonable prices, and I think there's blood in the streets, and there's fear, I absolutely would grab it, long-term hold or whatever. Now, there's a couple different things here. So, what good is something if it's not being used? That's one question I have for you guys. What is so good about crypto if you're just buying and holding it? What is the value in buying and holding? Just because there's only a few? Well, if there's only a few and you're not using it, there's no value there, technically. All right. Now, if we start getting this crypto, and yes, you've seen a lot of stores, and now there's ATMs, and a lot of different people were. There was a time frame where you just seen a robust, like, everybody's taking it. Everybody wanted crypto. From watch dealers to coffee shops, like there was a small business, there was crypto. Okay, if that small business wanted to transact in it, they were doing it, and I think that that's good, and that's what you need. I think that's what you need for guys like him and all the other ones to, like, get real about it. I mean, for goodness sake, it's across Bloomberg. Okay, Bloomberg has a section at the bottom of the screen where they go over the overall markets. I'm sorry, where they go over the overall markets, and it's at the bottom of the screen. So, I mean, you can't just say the U.S. doesn't need cryptocurrency. You're right. It may not need it. Okay, it may not need it, but that doesn't mean that people also don't want to use it. All right, for different payment methods, this and that. So there's a whole root of things, and if you guys want to educate me on a lot of the things that can go on with this stuff, the possibilities, because it's been a long time now, we still haven't seen much innovation out of it. Maybe there has been. Maybe I'm just under a rock, and then I don't pay attention as often as I should. But I do know there's a way where you can access payments, and possibly even large payments, and not have to, it may not cost you as much money. It may be faster, Now, look at AI. AI is that is a game changer. Okay, that is a game changer. That's already showing up in the past 6 months that it's been here, 5 months that it's been here. Okay. I had to take a sip of a drink. I didn't want you guys to hear that. So, now, no, it's been longer than 5 months. I was just throwing out some numbers. Okay. So this morning he is just on this talk. Like, we can go through this. Okay. We don't need more digital currency. So there's pushback there. Why is there pushback? Why is there such pushback on it and such hate? I get it. You already have your dollar. That's where everything's based. Okay. But the fact that you don't even want to accept a new idea, and the fact that you know a lot about this because there's videos of you teaching blockchain and all that. Again, right here, it's called US dollar. It's called euro. It's called yen. They're all digital now. In a sense they are. You're right. And they've always been digital if you want to technically. I mean, currencies have always been up for trade. It's a forex. For that dollar, there's a market. A lot of people don't know this, but there is a market for everything. Like, everything in and of itself is a market. The labor market, the jobs market, real estate market, equity market. I mean, the list goes on, guys. So this means that you can pretty much put a bid and ask on whether it's your job, whether it's, you want to trade dollars. Maybe you want to go buy the Mexican peso and sit in that for a little while because you think that, sorry, there's something on my screen. I don't want that. That's not good. Yeah, that's not good. I don't know what that is. So, it might have been, I don't know. So, anyway, the the first part that I wanted to get to was the pushback on this, the hate, the not, like, as far as being a politician, not necessarily a politician, but a person who is in government, or in public office. So, and coming from him and his teaching and this and that, I kind of just felt like there was just a lot of hate, a lot of I don't want to, whether it's him and a group of other people that are smart and know some things where it could change the game, and they're just pushing back on it and don't want nothing to do with it. Okay, I get it. It's very volatile. It's this and that, but I just feel like to come at it like this instead of doing your job and realizing it is there and trying to make laws of sorts for these companies, and then to just try and fine them and do this and that. Again, after the bell, the SEC filed a motion to freeze the funds in Binance. Now, what does that do to people? How does that help anyone? Can you guys answer that for me, please, in the chat? How does that help anyone? I just don't think that that's okay, and there should at least be a time frame and a warning before they do shit like this, because it's ridiculous. All right? So, again, a lot of pushback. He came on in the morning, and maybe he, who knows? Who knows? It's hard to say. So, we did have the FTX scandal, which was pretty ridiculous, but I feel like Coinbase and Binance, I mean, honestly, if these people are not having trouble pulling their money in and out of it, and there's not, maybe there is a lot of shit. I don't know. Well, guess what? Make a law for it. That's what your job is to do. And your job technically is to protect people, okay? Your job is technically to protect people. And how is holding their funds up protecting them? Not knowing what's going to happen after this. Knowing that your actions will also dictate the price in these people's holdings. Okay? So, Bitcoin, we can go. I'm going to go to Coinbase now. Where is it? Because I don't have it up here. So, anyway, I wanted to touch on that. He came on CNBC this morning, and he said just that. We don't need digital currency. We don't need it. From a guy that taught it in college as a professor. We already have digital currency. It's called the US dollar. It's called euro. It's called yen. Blah, 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 blah. Okay? All right. So now you know how he feels already by those statements. Pushback. Don't want it. Okay. Who are you to decide what people can have and do and want and try to bring some innovation to this world? Who are you to decide that, as a matter of fact? That's what I'm just curious about that. And the fact that they don't want to do their job and make laws, and it's okay because, listen, they find banks all the time. Now, they don't want to take them banks down because they need them. The world needs them. This is, we need to make payroll. We want to make some money. Maybe we want to get a new boat. Maybe we, who knows? But they go to the banks and they say, here, yeah, just give us a few $1,000,000 and we won't even go to court for it. All right. Mishaps happen all the time. And I just think that I really, really feel like there needs to be a change in who we bring into office and know what to expect. We got to make change, people. We have to. God forbid Ukraine. Look what Ukraine's going through right now. Let me not go down this path. All right? No. Is it Biden's fault? Not necessarily. No, it's not. It's Russia's. But still, were things antagonized? Yeah, I'm sure. So, I don't know. Those are just my thoughts. All right, those are just my thoughts. I pray for the people there, and it's just stuff like this. Who does it really help? So you're going to go find them. Now think about FTX, guys, real quick. I'm going to get over this. We're going to get to the charts and stuff. So all these, so you had Bahamas, I think. You had the Feds. And then you had New York start picking this case up with FTX. Now, after all the lawyer fees, all the court fees, after all this money goes around, you're just hurting the people. Instead of realizing and saying, hey, Let's just have the Fed. Now the Bahamas is a whole different story. Maybe I don't know the jurisdiction with laws between the U.S., Bahamas, or wherever it was. All right, I'm not a lawmaker. I'm not a lawyer. I also am not a financial advisor. So my point is that there need to be this realism that if you public servants, you're a public servant for the public people in office. I'm not saying him in general, but the people in New York, the Bahamas, they need to go and say, look, one court case, whether we want money or not, because it's like, to me, it's like you guys are trying to get your hands on the money and take it away from the people, and it's more of a self-fulfilling thing than it is a let's have one federal court case to get these people their money back because they were scammed. And if they do it again, then it is what it is, because we can't make laws. We can't do our job. We're too busy worried about this and that, but yet when it comes down time to sit at the desk and get to work, nothing is being done. Nothing is being done. Now, again, this is just for United States holders. This is not worldwide. But it's really frustrating. And, guys, we need to change this. We need to change this stuff, guys. Seriously. Now, I'm sure the next running for the presidency, this can be a big topic. The Biden administration failed. They never brought laws for cryptocurrency or legislation or anything that could be sufficiently looked at as making a change for the good. Making a change for the good. It's not happening with this guy. All right, it's not happening with him. Now, if he wants to, like, the fact that you just throw all these things out, okay, nobody, there was no issues, it felt like. Now, maybe there is. Okay, this is why things go to court. But I'm almost certain that the SEC is not going to come back out and say, yeah, we made a mistake. They're actually doing their job. The money's there. Everything is accounted for. They're not going to come out and say that. They're not. If they did, I would take this video down. Anyway, so this stuff isn't okay. So he goes on a power trip in the morning, and then what happens? Oh, there was more, because I think Coinbase, right? Didn't Coinbase get the whatchamacallit? What's up, Colin? How you doing tonight, bro? So this morning, Coinbase. Let's just go to the chart real quick. I don't mean to go on a tangent, but this shit is really getting to me today, man. Just him coming on this morning on CNBC, and then what we got at market close. So Coinbase, I guess, also is getting sued, but they were already warned about this. They were given that whatchamacallit, like 2-3 months ago, something 10. I forget what the hell it is. So Kathy Woods was a big buyer today. So we went over this chart last night, and what is so fucking crazy? What did we say 2 nights ago? We brought up crypto. I literally took you guys to the charts of crypto before all of this happened. I literally took us to the charts and said, watch crypto. Watch it. Trading view. I think it's the 2 years up. There we go. I don't know why the 2 years up, but I mean, I don't mind it because that's important. All right. If you guys don't know what the 2s and 10s spread is, you should be knowing them. You should know what they are every day when you wake up before you trade. You need to know where the 2s and 10s are. Because what happens is if like 3.6 for the 10-year Treasury. Oh, come on. So we got 3.6 for the 10-year and 4.4. So this spread is dwindling just a little bit. So what you're starting to see just with the 2s and 10s is the yield curve. Here's your yield curve. It's starting. Well, this is let's see. A year. I don't know how far this is. I'm not even worried about it. But the yield curve is, we're just under 1% right now. About 0.8%, roughly around there. Don't quote me on my math. I'm not sitting here trying to figure it out exactly. So you guys got to watch this stuff. But now crypto. So Coinbase went up on this news about Binance's assets pretty much being frozen, or people's assets are being frozen. So what does that mean for crypto? What does that mean? How long does this lockup have? I don't have pre-market on over here. So what we're going to do is just go here. Again, look at it. Look at that shot. As soon as that news came out, guys, as soon as that news came out, Coinbase ripped to the upside. Ripped to the upside. All right. So this is a beautiful pattern right here. You might get a gap up. You got to watch here. This might be a shortable area. This is where we wanted short. But it took it from us because, again, of Gary Gensler. And, of course, he does this shit at 8 o'clock in the morning when not a lot of people can short at this time. I can. I mean, if you guys really try, you can. If you get the right brokerage and do all that stuff. But so if you could, like, share, and subscribe, I greatly appreciate it. Put some questions or tickers in the chat if you can. Anything you want to go over, any ideas, if you want to ask me what I think about something, or if you just, any questions, tickers, whatever. Shit, I lost my thought. So this was the news today. We didn't get no news of any type of data or anything. Now I think hopefully it's not that I think so real quick, I have went through just some family things. I don't need to get into it, but I lost my cousin. I was really close with him in a terrible car accident this past week, and then my grandfather was in the hospital, so there's been a lot. So I'm watching my dog or my parents' dog and their cat and my cat and stuff. So I've had them separated, and I wasn't able to get up this morning because she had me up all night. So that is fixed. Tomorrow morning, 7:30 live. I'll probably have I'll probably start at 7, but I'm gonna have that squared away tonight. I'm just I got them squared away. They're used to each other. But I was a little upset because I was not able to capitalize really on anything today. I did grab puts for Friday because they're dirt cheap. Okay, let's just go into charts, and I'm just going to take it from there. So why did I grab puts? All right, first off, I'm not trying to front run the move. Let's get that straight. I'm not front running the move. All right. So can we break 430? Sure. We could go to 431, 432. Yeah, 430 could be broken. And I think if it does break, guys, if we do break this move, you're going to get all types of bullishness. So there's one of two things that are going to take place. All right, one or two things. You're going to get so many fund managers and money managers caught off sides, which a lot of them should already be long, but there were a ton of short positions coming into the first quarter. Now, you may have to pay for this data. I don't know. I can tell you right now, you're going to have to. If you want to go to Goldman Sachs or Morgan Stanley or JP Morgan, I go there for a lot of information, okay? I want to know order flow. I mean, you have a lot of people talk about, I do use advanced decline, the Vold ratio, advanced decline, and the tick. But you guys know where you have the charts with the A's and X's and O's or something, and it shows each point. Well, if you read level 2 and you watch your level 2 and read your tape and you are watching the market, you already know where their buyers and sellers are, and you should already know what levels are going to have a more of a reaction to than others. You're going to know where your main levels are. I got one right here. I got another one here. I got this one down here. All right, I already know, at least with the SPY, where my main levels are. Not so much the Qs, but the SPY. If SPY is my go-to. If there's nothing going on in the market, I can just scalp the SPY all day long, and I don't need home runs. I'll just get my base hits about 4, 5, 6 times a day. Hell, 2, 3 times, and I'm all right. I'm good. All it takes is one good trade. There's a book about that, actually. One good trade. So we can. Now my thoughts. We get one of two things. We break the 430 level, okay, this week, leading into next week. All right. It gets taken back. Now here's another level that I have already ready. I don't, the in-betweens, I'll get it when we get there. But you're going to have either we get up to 431, 432, 433-ish, and then you're going to just start CNBC, Bloomberg. You're going to have all these just networks and Yahoo Finance, and you're just going to notice it. You're just going to see the sentiment change to, are we in a or bull market now? We're close. We are close to a bull market. So that's when you may get some profit taking, or two. Now, when the sentiment is like bullish as all hell, and you got the last group of retail traders FOMOing into the long, you're going to have it reverse and profit taken by money managers who know what they're doing. Or two, this level breaks and then you start getting some short selling, and you could get a nice little rip higher. Now, the thing is I think you're going to need a catalyst. All right, I think we're kind of just going to, I'm hoping we could put in a range, because I still want to retest this 422, 423 level. We need to retest this level here. You got this one little ass wick off this level. That's it. So I think it's time for a pullback. Now, we've put in a new high. Today was a lower high. Tomorrow, we're going to just wait and see what happens. All right. We put in an intraday double top. And again, look at pre-market. Or not pre-market, but after hours. All right. It's still acting as resistance. Now, this is a minor level here. As you can see, I have this line up on my chart. It's been up there since I got into my puts, because this is going to be where my stop loss is. Now, why did I get puts? The only reason I got puts is for headline risk. You're already starting to get war talk. All right. Now, Ukraine and Russia are back in the mix. All right. You got Bitcoin back in the mix. All it takes is an overnight news about a bank, about the war, something about crypto, something about legislation, anything. Guys, they are dirt cheap. Look at the VIX. All right, look at the VIX. Now, listen, this very well could be a losing trade, but I didn't put my whole damn account on it. This is just a position that I put on because the reward to risk is there. The VIX broke 14. All right, the VIX broke 14, and it should, because we don't necessarily have a catalyst for volatility. Like, so far the Fed has backstopped the banks and their deposits. Okay. Like, what is there? All right. The war. Okay. We know there's a war going on, but there hasn't been no major changes. All right. Good or bad. You get a good change where Russia talks about pulling out 450. Here we come. Watch out. You better not have puts. All right. So I grabbed them, and listen, it grinded a little bit higher, and the premium didn't even move. So that tells me that's about as good as you can get on the entry for them. All right. I have puts for February already. I have them in this area here. All right. I have puts for February. Leaps. Okay. Because I kind of think second half of the year. Now, if something happens with sentiment or something changes, I will be selling them. But this position I put on here today, that is just, just because of the headline risk. They're cheap. You have to in this environment. All right. You don't know what you're going to wake up to. I put it on. Worst case, we gap up, and maybe I short again to test where we closed at today. Maybe we gap up over 430 tonight. If we can break this level here. Come on. So that's my thought. Let me not hang on that, too much. But so again, that's what I did today. I'm going to go over a few different stocks. AI has actually been holding up. I'm going to show you guys something. All right. Now, I'm really upset because I would have hammered the IWM today if I was up early enough in the morning, and I was not up until 3 in the morning because my cat was walking on me, crying to get out. And I'm like, you know what? You and the dog get into it, then so be it. All right. Look at this, guys. This is a beautiful pattern. This is a beautiful setup. What did I say last night? This is why you guys got to join. You guys got to like, subscribe, and share. It also may help somebody that doesn't have this type of education, because they charge so much money for this shit. I'm telling you. And especially if you go pay for a place to trade, you're going to be upset. You're going to be let down. I'm almost certain you're going to be let down, whether it's the education, whether it's their courses, whether it's the intraday. Not like they're going to be there in the morning and then you don't hear a word until 3 o'clock, So come join us. We are live Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m., 4:35, depends on what's going on. Look at the IWM. What did I say yesterday? Literally, last night on the live, I said, watch IWM today. This is going to be where the market is either going to go up or you're going to have a significant downside here very, very soon, because the IWM's pulled back yesterday, and that's healthy. That's fine. But they sold off pretty damn sharply, and banks and stuff were down. You were able to recover and hold this. Look at this pattern, though, guys. Look at this. All right? Look at this pattern. This is such a really beautiful bull flag, if there ever was one, on an intraday chart. All right? And I'm so upset that I, think, it is what it is. Shit happens. Look at this fucking bull flag. Excuse my language. All right, you have a beautiful bull flag at a major support level yesterday. And I said, if the IWM cannot hold this level here at 180, 179, look out below. There's something wrong. Okay, I said if it cannot hold, that there's something going on, whether it's the rebalancing, but it's not necessarily rebalancing, it's the banks. All right, the banks are heavy weighted in this index. All right, the regionals to be exact. So that would have told me. So what? So yesterday, real quick. Yesterday by what time is that? 10:20. All right, we're gonna call it 10:30. You already took back pretty much the whole move that it gave you Friday. This is the price action. When I'm telling you guys, watch price action, you need to see what a stock does when it gets to a level. Like if it gets up to 180 and quickly reverses on volume, that is a major level of resistance, and it's going to take something to get through it. All right? This was it yesterday. I'm like, man, if they don't buy the IWM by today, if something doesn't change, and you see another down day in the IWM, look out, because there's something going on that isn't being talked about, and it's probably the banks. But again, the Fed so far has them under control. But look what happened today, y'all. And I said it yesterday. I said it yesterday on the live. Watch small caps. Watch the IWM and how it reacts today. Were my words. Because it's going to be a pivotal moment for the market to continue higher. All right, you have such a huge spread between the IWM and the NASDAQ 100. Now, we could also play this back to 2021. What happens here? I mean, and look at this candle, guys. Look at this. So my thoughts were like it needed to hold the 100, but you have the 100 and 200 here. My last line of defense was the 200-day moving average, and it did close just below it. All right, okay. It closed just below it, There is support level here. See this over here to the left. All right, it was a little, I'm not going to say little, but it was one fucking candle. Again, excuse my language, especially if there's kids here. So it held, it ripped today. It ripped. If you were able to catch the IWM and you caught my live stream last night, look at this volume bar too, guys. It's backed up by volume. This is where all the volume was today. I mean, look at this. I can pull up Morgan Stanley, for instance. Just for instance, it's not a regional bank, but look at the candle on Morgan Stanley. Where else do you see a candle like that? Yeah, you got one down here at the lows. But this intraday is 83 to 86.50 or 86.20. So we're going to say a $3 move. What do you have here from high to low? 81, 83. So it's $1.50 roughly. Now this is a peak volatility. We're not in an environment with volatility. So when you see this type of stuff on a candle that shouldn't be like that, like these are your candles for Morgan Stanley. These little ass $1.50, $2 candles. So that happened. So here's the thing. Now watch. If this is a failed breakout on the IWM, then look out below. But it may not be. So it's trying to play catch up. All I want you guys to know is you could get a little bit of a follow through, but look what happened here. We were flat all year, and it made a little run. And then what happened? The bear market ensued. So that's the second possibility. Either it catches up and we're able to continue this, which I don't think we are. But I think we're going to rally and be in a bull market for a little while. So the other night, what did I say? If you guys were able to catch it, I told you guys that peak interest rates. Okay, peak interest rates. Let me bring that up. All right, well, real quick, let's jump into this. This was the Gary Gensler thing. You guys need to look up the Plaza Accord. It's manipulated. All right, this is the law which allows them to manipulate the dollar, the yen, the euro, and kind of put things into balance, and that's okay. I don't give a shit. They can do what they want. All right, they need we need a sustainable market. We need sustainable prices, and this is how you get it. By the big boys, the government people who you vote in office, you know, they add a little bit, they sell a little bit to be able to make things, you know, so you're not buying milk on the high every week. Milk's not going from $10 to $2 to $5 to $3 to $8, you know. A lot of people don't understand that could be a possibility, but it's not. You know, people don't understand. They just think eggs are what they are and milk's what they are and ham is what it is. Steak is what it is. It doesn't change. There's no volatility to it. Well, you could come into a time where there is volatility in food. You know, you just had inflation, but it wasn't necessarily volatility. So this type of stuff kind of helps with that. So guys, read up on the Plaza Accord. And this is why you get pushback from this guy right here. Again, we got to do so. This is crazy. We can't, this is ridiculous. To not set any, you're going to go tell somebody they got to follow the law or they're doing this and that. Well, you don't have a fucking law to begin with. There's no legislation for crypto. So the whole thing is ass backwards. It's all about money. That's all it is. I forgot what I was going to get into. I was going to bring up the interest rates, but all you guys have to do is go to Fred.com. All right. You can go to Fred.com, like Fred, which is the St. Louis Fed. All right, real quick, we're gonna go over charts. We're gonna go over AMD, shit like that. So what I want, just real quick. Well, actually, I had tied in unemployment here, so you guys have to watch that video. If you guys want, I can do it real quick. I'm gonna do it real quick because I want to keep these. I want to keep these quick, but I want to show you guys something because it's important, and this is going to help you guys with timing. Now, every time is different, though, so remember that. So you want to give a little bit and take a little bit and kind of like, you know, it's not going to be exact because times are different. There's different liquidity. Like, there's different things that cause different things to happen back in the past. All right, data series. All right, so here's the unemployment rate. Again, what did I say? I'm just going to go to 2008. So look, interest rates, okay? This was roughly, we're just going to say roughly. Let me scroll in so you guys can see it. All right, interest rates. They started around 2004. Now, it took them 2 years to get peak. Now, almost 3, but it was 2 years. Peak interest rates, okay? Red is unemployment. The blue is the Fed funds rate. So, we peak, they hold, okay? From peak, what do we have? That's August 2006, and then the unemployment rate starts to tick up October 2007, literally a year. So they raise for 2 years. You can worry about the hold or not. Like it's same thing here. It's the same thing here. It's the same thing for 2000, the 80s. All right, it's the same thing. All right, right here in the 80s they peaked. Even though they brought it down, it was still a year lag from peak. So what I'm getting at is next week, if we do not get a interest rate hike, which I'm going to go out on a limb and say I don't think we're going to get one. You can hear them talk about, well, we're not going to do one this month, but we'll do one next month if we need to. Yeah, that's a possibility, but that doesn't make any sense. The Fed doesn't want to work like that. They're professionals. They know what they're doing, and they already know this chart. This is the St. Louis Fed chart. Like this is their site. So I think they know this. And every time I think they're going to stop at 5.25. Where were interest rates here? They were at 4.99, 5%, call it. 5.25. There you go. 5.25. It's about where we're at now. So they know that, and we've done this not in 2 years. We've done this in 1 year. Okay. So what I'm getting at is from peak, if we do not get an interest rate hike, then look for not necessarily later this year. You can look for later this year, but you want to wait and see what happens like January, February, March. Like you want to give it 10 to 14, 15 months. Now it could be different. Okay, again, times are different. It doesn't always. Past performance is not indicative of future performance. Okay, so I am going to say like August, September, you're going to see talks about the unemployment rate, because I think that going into the fall and going into the winter, you're going to get people really talking about unemployment rate and the recession, and that could give us our second leg to the downside. Now we're going to need a pretty serious recession to meet. I swear to God, these charts. We're going to need a pretty damn good recession, pretty bad one, if we're going to get back down here at these lows at 350. Like, you had the chance to buy them at 350. If you didn't, 360, hell, 380. But here's the thing, what I want to cover real quick. You have so many people that do not want to be long from here. They don't want to be long at 420. And if they didn't buy, they probably aren't, but they are up a lot right now. All right, they're up a lot. Just year end. I forget what it is. You can do the math. But just the S&Ps are probably up a good, I don't know. You'll have to do the math. I could go out on a limb and say, I want to say 12, like 6 to 12% maybe from year end, from here. We'd have to do the math. 380 to 430. You'd have to do the percentage or do the math. You could just Google it. All right. There could be some profit taking, especially up here, guys. So I think, again, real quick, if we break through 430 or if we gap up above it, you're going to see mid to low 330s. All right, mid to low 330s. And then you get the pullback. After everybody, which is the sentiment, you're going to hear, again, CNBC, Bloomberg, all these people talk about long. And then you're going to get your pullback. Again, I bought puts because I had to, because they were so cheap. It's not going to make a difference if I get stopped out. They're so cheap, I'm telling you. So, yeah. What we got? Question real quick. First stock rally. First stock, I really charted myself, seeing that it held support around 77 a couple months ago and not a few days ago. You know, I'm only a year in, but I was thinking it could be good swing trade. Yeah, what was it, Colin, again? Baba. Here's the thing, bro. You got to watch the Chinese ADRs, but right now you're in a good spot. Let's do it. Let's go over Baba. Let's get it. I mean, we called out Baba, bro. You remember that? I don't know if you remember that or not. We were on Baba early. Tell me we weren't on Baba early before anybody was on it. Tell me we weren't on that shit. I like Baba for a break. Baba can give you a day where it hits $10. We hit this. I hit that. I hit this. All right. I'm not just trying to talk about what I do, this and that, but this was a good day right here. I'm pretty sure. No, because we caught this rally. We caught this rally to the 105s. Yeah, that was my target. But back here, I think it was this day. It was a $10 day. 100 to 90. Yeah, 100 to 92 right here. That's short on the break because you had your gap fill right here. I was short on that gap fill. So I have learned that I can trade Baba really good. So I'm glad you brought Baba up. You got to watch. Now, look, if you get a pullback into, I'm going to expect that Baba pulls back. If it doesn't, it can still run. All right, it doesn't have to do anything. I will put these levels on your chart, Colin. I really would. Just watch these levels, and then we will go over the game plan with it. We'll go over the technical analysis on it real quick for you. All right. This is your first level if you get up there. If you just have, because you had such a big day today. First off, you had a nice day here, and again, I was looking at Bob, and I'm like, I was a little upset I wasn't a part of it. All right, that's a $4 or $5 day, 83 to, from low to high to 87. So that's a good day right there. You had a small inverse head and shoulders here, but you didn't have like the retest of the neckline, which would have been a nice retest right here at 79.50, but you didn't get it. Anyway, let's stay on track. So this is your top end resistance if this level holds here. This is going to be so expecting tomorrow. You're going to want to see a pullback down here in the 85. And that's going to be healthy. If you pull back into 85 and hold it for like 2, 3, 4 days, then watch out for a big run. And you might start to see it end of day. People that are short, there's still, I don't know what the short float is on it. You'll have to look, but So that's your first level. This is your first level you need to watch. If you are long it, I would put your stop loss just probably in this gap. See, it's hard to say because you put in a double bottom here. I personally would have my stop loss right under here at 85.15 because you can always hit it again. If it breaks it and comes down here and hold it, guess what? You're buying it at better prices on a because you know that it holds here. I got to go to the daily chart. I got to see where the moving averages are on it. We're going to get into the volume. We'll get into the MACD. Now, you do have, here's the thing. You are going higher already. Just on the 15-minute chart, your RSI. So that is bullish or bearish divergence in a sense. All right, because it is putting it, we got to go to the daily to find that out actually because it's a longer term trend. You really want to see where it's at. Got to go to the daily. Your 200. There you go. Just right where at the levels I said. You have your 50-day and 200-day. Two things. If you do get up past this level here at 89, do you see that's the level I just told you about was 88.30. I just made it bigger. This line right here. We can actually zoom in on it. All right. We just talked about this level right here, 88.89. Now, your moving averages are probably going to stay right around here. So if you do get continuation to the upside, you're going to have resistance here. This is a pretty big level. Because look at the volume that you broke through this level on. Look at that volume. You're going to need a catalyst or a nice size volume to break back up through that. Now, what you could get, this 50-day, the 50-day is just under the 200-day. If you get a pullback into this 85, hell, even 80, I'm going to say 85 right here. So I already have these chart levels on my chart. If you pull back into here or hold it for a day or two and you start getting some volume and you see with volume this 50-day start rising above the 200 or the stock start making its way to the 200, you got to take profit if you do get to this 250-day moving average. You got to have it on your chart. There may not be much structure here. Let's see. Because I'm looking at this candle here. And it's still under it. Let's look to the left. And let's see if there's any structure where the 50 and 200-day is. You have a gap fill here. You see where the stock stopped at? Over here to the left. See this gap fill? Right here. And then look to the right. See where the level is? Look. See how it rejected that gap fill and got huge volume to the downside? The thing with China 80 yards is Kim Jong-un, or whatever, not Kim Jong-un, but Xi Jinping, he can come up with a law overnight, and that's why the United States money managers don't invest in Chinese stocks, in Chinese ADRs. They don't allocate a lot of money to it. That's why you have this. That's why you have such a downside. Alibaba is a great company. There's a lot of revenue there. It's a great company, but what's stopping it from being the potential that it could be is the Communist Party of China. All right, and Xi Jinping, this is why they stopped, because overnight the rules changed. That's why we had this upside. Again, that's why we had this upside. But they also know if they do that, that means capital is not going to be able, they're going to have no investors are going to want to go to China and their country, and they need that just as much as we need. We don't need them, but they need us more than we need them. That's a fact. All right. Yes, they help us with between the shipping ports and manufacturing and going right from China to Long Beach, California and stuff. But we can ship it to India or there's always somewhere else. And you got the currency factor there, but still, fund managers don't want to invest, and a lot of them, I know a few personally that don't invest at all in China. But again, you got 401ks, you got your BlackRocks and stuff who do business over in China. So keep an eye out on that. This right here, my guy. And again, that lines up. That resistance lines right up with the gap fill from the left. All right, wherever the fudge it was. So let's talk about the game plan for tomorrow. So again, remember, there's a gap fill here. This is an island reversal in a sense. I mean, because you gapped up, and then you just gapped down, rolled it back over. So the thing I do like about BABA is that it's building a base. The thing that I don't like about BABA is that it's China company. It's a company from China. And the thing is you're going to have headline risk with any type of Taiwan. You have this Taiwan shit going on. You got to think about that too. The minute something pops off with Taiwan and United States, this stock is going down. It's going down hard too, in a hurry. So 50-day, 200-day, you're going to watch as a target. That's going to be, if anything, like your final target at least. Again, because look at this volume here on this level up here. So could you see that level? I think you could. In what time frame? That I don't know. Like you say, it's good that it's a swing trade because it could take 2 weeks, a week. But I think if it's going to get there, it should do it by next week with CPI and Powell with these interest rate hikes. So again, what are you going to look for tomorrow? Possibly a pullback into 85.30. See how it holds up there. It may dip below it a little bit, come back up. Ultimate upside, you got to get through this level first. Before we're talking about this high up here with the 50-day and 200-day and the gap up at 93 in the low 90s, you got to worry about this here. All right, this 88 level would be my, I'm not going to say final take depending on how it does it, but you just got some volume in this thing today. We were on it back here on the lows right here, like because we noticed the turnaround that they were having. All right, on the MACD, you see how we put in a new low. Your MACD put in, it's a double bottom. So look at the MACD here. See how you actually put in a new low here at 77. Look at your MACD. This is a 15-minute chart, and your MACD's up here. That's bullish divergence to go positive. All right, it actually went positive. And then what did you have? We were on it. We were on it this day. I was, at least. And then we had our resistance. We put in our levels, etc., etc. See this green line that I have here? Look at that. Look how it sticks these levels, guys. Look how it sticks those levels to a T. You know, when you see shit like this, it gives you like reassurance that, you know, you're seeing the chart right. You're reading the chart right. So again, you put in a double bottom here. I mean, I like it until something changes. You know, again, to break through that low 90 level, look at that volume, dude. We're not even nowhere near that type of volume. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's still more sellers sitting up there. They're just waiting. I'm sure these people here that sold, and I was short on this day. There are people that have a time, like, you know, they have an alert. Baba starts getting in there. You may even start see selling coming into this level. That's why I would first watch this 88 and see if you can break 88 first. All right. I hope that helped. Let's go to AMD. All right. So I said, I'm looking at AMD and I'm saying AMD could turn out to be like a Meta. Now, what do I mean by that? Like, let's go back to Meta. And you had Meta, you know, have good earnings. Like, just sentiment for Meta just changed. You know, it just changed. All right, so the daily chart, here we are. This was the gap up earnings right here. Do you see how we just kind of stayed up here? We dipped and then put in a base, and then the shorts got a little nervous, and then you just had continuation. All right, as long as there's not bad news in the market. So if you have war, banks, interest rate decision that we get one, whether it's 25, 50, like you have any type of sentiment that comes through the news where things are bullish or bearish, I mean, the markets are going to come down and you're not going to get that. Sorry, this is a daily. Let me go to a 4 hour. That 4 hour is going to look a lot better than this daily. You know what I mean? So this is what I'm expecting for AMD. How we popped up, held, kind of just curled down a little bit, sold off, profit taking. And this is profit taking. This isn't selling. Like, look at the volume. Look how low it is. Shit. All right. Look how low that volume is. You know what I mean? Like, look at this. This is low. Let me put it so you guys see how low this is compared to the green days. Look at those green days. Boom. They are out. You know what I mean? They're outshining the fucking selling days. So I want to see that with AMD. Now, as I don't think you're going to get like the full extension like Meta, because Meta was beat up, and Meta's a big cap tech company with billions of dollars in quarterly revenue, and I'm talking about billions. You know, pushing that damn trillion mark. So AMD's not on that level, but I still think AMD can. You could probably see something like that. So I was wanting to be long AMD today, and I was not able to, and that's okay. Things happen, you know. Um, what are you gonna mess up? Look, and AMD's up 5.5%. Again, yesterday I came on and said I'm watching AMD. I'm watching AMD because this is my area where I think it doesn't break, and I've been waiting for it. I want to see it put in a range and bounce back, and like people are going to talk about fundamentals this, fundamentals that, PE this, PE that, and it won't break down, and they're going to try and short it and short it and short it, and it just won't go down, and then they're covering and people are buying. You had Dan Lowe or Dan, what's his name? I have to get his name. He's a fund manager, and he came out and said he was buying AMD. He was long AMD. He really liked AMD, this and that. And that's where I think you got this from, right here. It was right around here when the news broke that he came out and mentioned that he was a buyer. It might even have been here. Might even have been there, guys. So Dan Lowe, he came out. I had to get his Twitter handle. I forget what it is, so you guys know who it is. If you ever watch CNBC and you see the guy from India on there, and they talk, and his name is Dan. And I'm sure you guys will see him if they, he's always on CNBC. So that news hit the tape that he was a buyer, and you just had a bunch of volume come in. I can't remember if it was here or back there. So let's get to the point. I gotta watch what I do because I don't want to just sit and hang on something and repeat myself. And so I was watching this level here, guys. I have two of them up, and you can see that they both worked because you gapped down and then you gapped above it. So this tells me I was on the right track with it. So this is what I was looking for right here, this whole area. I wanted to see this area here hold. I could even go down here, but that's too much. So I'm going to go from the red chart. All right, I wanted to see this level here hold. All right, I wanted to see it hold here. And I wanted to see it put in a base. All right, and it did that. All right, it did that. Look what we got today. You got a 5.5% move out of AMD today. Now, obviously, it already pulled back here, made it act as resistance. So now the trade's over because now we're getting into the top of the range where it's like, all right, this is where I'm short. You know what I mean? Playing the range, guys, it can make you so much money if you just, you can't front run it, but I'm a buyer, I'm a seller. I'm a seller, I'm a buyer, I'm a buyer, I'm a seller. It works until it doesn't work, guys. If you don't over leverage yourself and, you kind of pay attention and look at the volume we had. We had an increase in volume today. Do you know why we had an increase in volume? Because look at these shorts here. See it coming down? See the shorts piling in on it? Look, short. See how red this thing is? See how red it is? You had a little green day there. That's shorts like it not breaking and them noticing it's putting in a base and starting to turn itself around. All right, am I on the 15? I am on the 15. So let's look at the MACD. So here you go, bullish divergence, right? I swear. I like Thinkorswim's charts, but it's not Thinkorswim, it's me, I guess. So the MACD, real quick, guys. The MACD put in a low. All right. There's your low in the MACD. You put in a new low pre-market or after hours with a higher MACD. You put in a low market hours, 9 to 4, in between 9 to 4 in the morning. Look, you're almost positive with a new low. So this is why I love bear markets, because you get either bearish or bullish divergence. Same with the RSI. RSI, you want to look at it on like a longer time frame, but it doesn't hurt. You can pull up stochastics, and what's also good, if you guys don't know, I don't have it up here, but I have it on my other screen to the left. I use not stochastics, but I use stochastics, but I use the advanced decline line. And what the advanced decline line is, it shows you new money coming in and new money, like whether it's new money coming in at highs or money leaving. And it's a gauge that it's pretty much just a line. And if the line is going up and it's at highs and the stock is making new highs, that means new money is coming in, not old money. Like if the stock's going high and the it's like chalk. It's like CH something, or you could do like not is it advanced decline line? Yeah, it's the advanced decline line. It's the ADD, I think. Um, I have to pull that up for you, but it's a really good gauge to know. Like, is the stock really strong? Is this new money coming in, or is it, you know, money leaving and the stock's still going higher because there's just, or let me just rephrase that. If the stock is going higher and the line is like coming down, that means there's just no sellers there. It's just a little bit of buying. You know, it's a really good tool. It's a really good tool to gauge actual money flow in and out of the stock. So again, we have bullish divergence here, guys. We put in a new low on AMD, higher MACD, and then we turn positive, and then what'd you get today? You know, this is, you usually get 2 days. There's a 2-day window there where, you had your base, it rose up, and you had your final day sell off. It held up, and they just hold it. It wasn't going higher, but it also wasn't going lower. And then what did that do today? Once you stuck this level, like you started to veer off in pre-market, the sellers wanted it, but no, wasn't happening. As soon as you got whatever, I don't know if you had it. I don't think you had any news, but you just had this thing take off, like whether it was the sector or it's just time. Like I could sense the time of it today is why I was trying to be long it today. Anytime, bro. Again, I hope I'm not getting off track or whatnot. So again, I wanted to see AMD. So what do we look for now? I would just let AMD climb and see where it stops, and just like I said, you're a buyer down here, and you're a seller up top. Until something changes. So let's look at real quick. Let's look at the daily chart so we know. Well, it's above all the moving averages, so there's no use to look at it. All right, there's no use to look at it. So what I would do is I would look at this close here. What is this? This is 125.05 psychological numbers. Look, we broke out also on a nice increase in volume. We're a little overextended though, man. Look at that RSI. It's at 83. Yeah, I would watch AMD to the downside actually. After seeing that, you might have had a short squeeze today, but I think you could get some selling pressure to really step in, and that's going to help my puts on the SPY. I don't think Nvidia made the climb like AMD did today. I think Nvidia might have been red. I don't know what I'm doing. Hold on. But I'm going to get into that. I want to look at AI and whatnot. So yeah, like I said, on the daily, that RSI at an 83.90 level, yeah, beware, because that's overbought. It's overbought. I would look to be. Let's go out on a limb here. Let's do another limb. Let's see where we can get short. If I can call an area where the risk to reward makes sense. All right. I mean, instinctively, I want to say here at 124.04. It's funny how that adds up, right? 124.04. And what was the other one that I said? 125.05 or something like that. See, the thing is that there's like not much structure here. There really isn't. But I will say, let me put up the 15-minute chart. I'm thinking right here, guys. I'm thinking I may short AMD. Now, I'm only looking for a couple dollars. It's going to be an intraday trade. This is not me thinking that we're going to put in new lows on AMD. All right. We first have this level here that it took and made support. So if you get a bounce back to it and it holds, then watch for some more upside. Where was I thinking? And we broke that pretty much. That was our high of today. It's going to be tough. Guys, honestly, we're just going to have to look at previous open. And, dude, come on. You guys, if you guys want, just join me tomorrow morning. I'll have it. I'm going to put this up because this is... No, I don't want to do that. First off, that's going to be one major level, and then we have a. So yeah, so like I said, can you guys see how there's like not much structure here, because it hasn't been at these prices in God knows how long. I mean, I can go back to the daily chart. You know what you should do. It's ultimately what you should do. I just hate how I have all these lines here. So let's look for AMD. Where are we shorting AMD at? Let's do this. Boom, boom. There's one level. And we didn't get there today. Let's do them. So this is the top of the range here, roughly. That's the top of the range. I'm going to make this red so that we know that's where we are getting the top of the range to the left at. Alright, and then you have a pivot high up here. That's probably already, yeah, I already have that at, I already have it. And there is the top of the base, and I don't have that yet. So that's a new high at 131. So this area, can you guys see the base? So like, so this here is the bottom of the channel. I'll just put a mark there, and then the top of the base, which is here. Do you guys see that range right here? And then you have another range here. See how that, like, you could just put a box there for these ranges, and you want to look at low, high, and then if there's any gaps. So you have a range right here. That's one range right there, and then you have another range right there, and then you have another range. Now this is how fund managers work. They look at highs and lows of the ranges. You know what I mean? So if you couldn't see, now this is volatility. This is peak bear market. So you're not going to get much structure, you know. So this, having that up is going to show you your lower end, your support, and your resistance. You know, being able to see things like that really help knowing where you should be short and where you should be long. You know, just to give, not to say that it's going to work, but it's going to work 99% of the time if you're buying right and selling right. But there's going to be that time where it breaks through. You're going to be short and it breaks through. Well, guess what? You're short up here, and if it breaks through, like, you're losing less money than if you're to short here, waiting for it to get up to there to reverse. You know, you're putting yourself in the best position possible, and that's how you not only last, but that's how you make yourself some good money. So let's go to AI. AI is holding up. We'll look at AMD tomorrow. We're gonna look at We're gonna look at real quick. We're gonna look at Coinbase. We'll look at Mara. So we're gonna have to watch these cryptocurrencies tomorrow and the rest of the week, because we need to know what. This is big, because if they're locking up money, look at this double bottom. What is this? An hourly chart? I still think there's too much of a resistance zone up here for Bitcoin, and that means Mara, Riot, Coinbase, they're all gonna come down. Right here, look at this, guys. Look at this base right here that I was just telling you guys about. This is the top end of it, right there. It looks like it kind of just broke it. There's the top end. Like, here's, oh shit, it's been a while since I used TradingView. There's one zone, and then you have your obvious, you know, 30,000 high. But you just got to take it like that for right now. This right here, guys. Shit. This is the low. Why is there no slide thing to slide it across? Where's... Do I got to go down further? Dude. What happened to the slide bar? Like, what the flip is going on here? Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Using TradingView on a laptop to desktop is completely different. And look, you turned that into resistance. You guys see that? So you got to watch Bitcoin. You see how on a daily we broke it? See, we broke this base. And then you reversed and turned what was support into resistance. That right there is where you need to look for position and not jump in right away. Anytime I'm long or short, if I'm short this stock and we break this level, I'm looking for whether it's an intraday, 2 day, 3 days later, whatever. I'm looking for the retest back, and I'm fucking hammering it. I'm hammering that thing, especially if we just sat here and put in a base like we did there, you know. But we have a short-term base right here, guys, that I want you guys to take notice of. Right there, which is your 30 to 28 level. See, look, we didn't even have this up to the left, guys. Do you see the importance? This is the lower end of this range. All right, that's the lower end. See what I'm talking about? Right there. There's the low, and then your high right here. And then look, low, and then I was just saying this section right there, it quickly broke out, but it reversed. Tried again and rejected. So that's why I don't think you're going to get too much of it again. But you can call this the top of the channel that it's making. Sorry, I don't know what the hell happened there. I don't know what I'm doing. I just haven't used this on a I haven't used it on a desktop really. I don't really use this. So again, we got to watch Bitcoin. Let's go to an hourly chart. So yeah, there we go. It's just so crazy because you got to remember on Bitcoin that it trades nights, day, weekends, mornings, nights. So the chart's going to be a little fishy. So if we do break up, I'm watching this level, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to relate this stuff to Riot. There's the top end of it. If it's able to see how it's like trying to like break and retest it now. Now I don't know what this means. See, now I don't have it perfect because I don't have it up like pre-market and all that other shit, but I think it just gives it to you. See how it's like broke it and now it's curling back down to hold it. You're going to want to watch and see if it holds up. This was a bear flag here, or a bull flag kind of forming. If you go to an intraday chart, you're going to notice that right there, it was starting to form a bull flag. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean this is a failed breakout, or is it curling back down to test the top trend line? Is it trying to test that and, go higher, or is this just a failed breakout, too much resistance, and this thing sells off and we wake up and Bitcoin's, down here in the morning, in this area? Hard to say. I mean, it's not going to be down $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, but still, it technically could be. So we're gonna use Bitcoin as a gauge to liquidity in the in markets for like Coinbase, and we're gonna look at it for Riot. There they are. See, now I'm starting to get it. So we had really no news today, guys. Again, I bought puts. I did buy puts. So let's talk real quick. AI. AI's holding up, guys. I would keep AI on your watch list. Oh, I already have it up. Did I have AI up or did I have AMD up when I was doing that whole thing? I hope it got. Yeah, I did. I had AMD up. All right. So real quick, AI. Let's pull up the daily. It's above all moving averages. Matter of fact, 50 is above the 100. 100's above the 200. How it should be. We broke this psychological level, and look, we turned it into support. Can you see the base here? Like I was just showing you guys. See this bottom end? You see the top end, bottom, top. You got to start like trying to be able to picture those things in the future to be able to, you know what I mean? Just to tell you where you want to be long and where you want to be short, and in between you want to sit on your hands. So we broke above that level here. All right, we broke above the level. We broke above this range. I'm not going to make it perfect, but there's your range. So now we're out of it. We're out of that range, and now we're holding that support, and we had an extension today. There are so many. The short. You have so much volume here because the short positioning on AI is through the roof. Look at this volume. And these are the stocks you want to trade because this is liquidity. This is bringing spreads tighter and closer, and you're getting movement. Now, actually, when you get big movement, like in options or anything, not necessarily a stock, you may get a wider spread, okay, because of the uncertainty. But if you catch the direction right at the right time, you're going to make good money. And if you do catch a move, we're going to go over what I think. It kind of stalled out today. I was watching it a little bit. you got to take profits because you still have a war going on. You could get news that comes across the wire that a bank just went and met with just an auditor or a lawyer or something because they are they're hurting because of these rates. Technically, banks should do well in higher interest rate environments. Banks typically since 2008 haven't had the environment where they're able to make 4, 5, 6%, 7%. So if you think about COVID real quick, I thought about this a while ago in the truck and I never mentioned it. The banks that have been able to give these loans out, okay, if Fed funds rate was around a quarter percent, 0.5%, even 1%, we'll say, and the bank is going to get it at 2.5, and then they're going to give it to you for, or they're going to, let's just say they get it at 2. They're giving you, or they get it at 1%. I mean, honestly, because rates were at 0.25, the bank was able to get it at 75 basis points to 1%, hand it over to people for homes or whatever at 2.5, 2, 3%. So rates are now at 6. So if a bank was lending short term, because banks lend at short term rates and borrow at long term rates, because usually the yield curve is different. The yield curve is inverted right now. So they lend on short term rates, borrow on long term rates, because long term you should have more interest because there's time, there's uncertainty, and there's more time. So banks since 2008, the financial crisis, have not had a period seasonality of like a few years of interest rates that were, at a peak. So if they're lending at 3, 2.5, 2, let's just say 2% about a year and a half ago, and today they're not lending at 4, but let's just say from 2 to 4, that's literally 100% return just in a year and a half on those loans. Now there's a sticky situation with bank tightening and deposits because they also need to know that they have to have enough deposits in the bank. And if people are taking their money out of the bank and putting it in money market accounts, then that means they don't have enough liquidity to lend at the same token, So there's that. Now the banks, technically they should do well, but again, this is the environment we live in. You have 0% interest rates and the dollar is at fucking all-time highs. It wasn't at all-time highs, so I'm just saying, this is the environment. You have an inflation period, but yet gold is down and can't rise because the dollar is so strong. So everything is just ass backwards in this environment. And it is what it is. You just need to put those type of pieces together. So what that has to do with AI, absolutely nothing. But I just wanted to bring that up. Technically banks should be doing well, but because of the times we're in, they're not. It also has to do with the rate of change on the Fed funds rate, because they went from 0 to 5 in a year instead of 2 or 3 years usually. They would take their time with that. So that gets us into the environment though, that you just got to watch, because overnight in the morning you could wake up and we're down a half of a percent, 0.75% on the S&Ps because of something. Could be anything. So AI, this is your level for AI. Look, I want to watch AI tomorrow. If AI pulls back and is able to stick this level right here, so write this down, 36. Where are we going to give it? We'll give it to around 34. We'll give it $1. Because what's the upside that we have? Well, first off, we potentially have 47. And I'm still looking for the 50 mark. I don't know why that just did that. Oh, because it's a square. Is this at 50? Yeah, 49.62. All right, so top side target, guys. This is a previous pivot high right here. All right, previous pivot high. Kind of double topped here. Actually, I'm going to make that our first line of resistance is going to be this area here. It's going to be here. And we've already broke it. We're holding it as support. You see how we're trying to hold it as support now? So right there. That's going to be a first take profit. That's going to be getting into what, 4 days ago's open. So which would be right here at roughly, no, I'm just going to say roughly an estimate, 41.13. So where do I have it? Just under 41, 40. Yeah, just under 41. So if AI tomorrow, all right, let me bring up, because you had an increase in volume. See how you had a decrease? All right, look, increase in volume right here. Let's bring it up so we can all see it, okay? Because I want to show you guys something. Because if this continues, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to get a day like this or like this, and you're going to get a big volume. And in the afternoon, you're going to hear me come on and say, I traded AI today. You could have been with us. I mean, this shit is free. Like, share, subscribe, comment. All right. I'm watching if AI holds 36 flat. All right. 36. Again, I have this green square here because this is my buying area. And I'm going to give it a little bit. I'll probably even give it down to 33, 36. So let's just say 34. If my stop loss, if I get in at 34.50, or no, I'm sorry, 35. We're going to say 36. If I get in at 36, and I'm going to give the stock from 36 to 34, I'm giving the stock $2 as my stop. To potentially make my first target isn't much, but that's 40. So that's still profitable. All right, from 38, 39, 40, 40, 70. So there's $2 right there. All right, that takes care of the risk. Now, we get through this level tomorrow. If we get through 40, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm taking profits in front of 47. Okay, so what is that? Okay, I just told you I'm risking $2. I'm risking $2 to make 38.50. Let's just call it 39, even though we know there's a 50-cent lag there. All right, so 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. So that's 7 from 47. That's 9 points, guys. So I'm giving it $2 to potentially make 9. You see where I'm getting at? See what I mean? And this is going to be this move's going to, there's not much structure here. We have no structure here, is why I think you could see AI tomorrow get some volume. As long as the market and no news hits, we could, if we don't already gap up, you're going to start seeing this candle, whoever the hell's in these candles, these guys are going to start getting nervous and covering their position if they haven't already. They may have already started to today when it found support at this 34.60. Again, so if we gap up above, like if you wake up and this, and we're, I'm just going to put it here, even though it's going to be over here. If you wake up and we're here, Jesus fucking Christ, this thing. I'm sorry to cuss again. I will work on it. If you see that we are, where am I at? You see if we're up here. All right, if we gap up tomorrow and you see that, I'm going to wait. I want to give it to here. I want to give it a pullback into this area. Now, if this happens tomorrow, just don't let me come on here and say, I told you so. Sorry. All right, if it gaps up, let it pull back. All right, it pulls, what the, you see what I'm dealing with? Oh, that's because I drew the line. I'm sorry. I go through so many. I have so many different charts. I don't know why it's doing this to me. Let it pull back a little bit, and if you start to see it to hold, you start seeing it hold this, even above it, even if there's a gap, and then you start seeing it. Holy shit! Start to slowly work its way up, guys. I'm hammering it again. I'm going to give it, and I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to see candles that look like this. Okay, and they're going to be big because you're going to have shorts and buyers, and it's going to be on. It's coming. I'm telling you, it's coming. AI has a short float that's pretty damn big, and we should break these highs and hit. We still haven't hit the 50 level yet. Is what I'm getting at. That psychological 50 number. There's going to be orders at 48, 47.50, 49 selling. There's going to be orders selling in front of that. So if you do decide to play AI, make sure you're taking profits. Again, not only do we have news, to contend with, this is where I want to get to ultimately. I want to get to this 49.29 mark, and we could go higher. I'm telling you guys, this short squeeze hasn't started yet. Look at the volume, guys. We're getting increased volume. This is what you want to see. So today, what did we have? We had now it may come in like, it may take 2 days. It may take 3. We could end like we ended the week like 2 weeks ago, where you get not until Thursday and Friday is when you get the squeeze. So tomorrow, if we get up to this area to like we're working on this high up here at 43 and 40, I want to see a volume candle at least like that. I want to see an increase in volume. But again, I went over my game plan. Tomorrow morning, I will be able to tell what the volume is going into the day and the sentiment, because you could get a gap down. All right, you could. Do I think we are? I don't think we are. I think we pulled back. Now, we've held support here, guys. This is beautiful. Look at this range I just told you about. Now, if I pull this square over, this range, okay? If I pull it over, there's your range, okay? Where did it just pull back to? Literally the top, guys. Look, we broke it. Pulled back for support. Guys, I'm looking for this. It could happen tomorrow. I'm looking for something like that, guys. Seriously. If not tomorrow, definitely Thursday or Friday. If this thing holds. I'm serious. This is on the watch list. All right? And that's what I want to see. I want to see this thing break out and the shorts just finally give up and say, you know what, we're wrong. AI is here to stay. Let me try a different day. They may not even survive. All right? They could get hit and not be able to get out of this thing and get margin called. You could get people blown up tomorrow. So we're already getting it. Do you see how the story is playing? This was Monday. This was today. I want to get another increase in volume, guys. I think AI is on the list. All right, AI is going to be on my list along with Bitcoin. Not Bitcoin, I'm sorry, but Coinbase. Okay. Now I kind of went over that, guys, with what's going to happen. What does that mean for Bitcoin though? So here was the other thing. The liquidity. If they're going to lock up all these shares, or not necessarily shares, but if they're going to lock up all these people money and they can't do nothing with it, that's not good. That's not good. You could see Bitcoin, like, I don't know. You could see Bitcoin sell off. It could stay where it's at, but I mean, if it gets bad, you could see Bitcoin start to sell off pretty heavy. All right. So I'm going to watch Coinbase. Now, this is my level. Kathy Wood's been buying it, so beware. You have institutional ownership being taken upon. Right here, guys. I want to be short in that area. Okay. That's where I'm going to be short on coin. Right there. I already have this is what I was hoping for yesterday. I was hoping today that we were going to get like a gap down, or, it holds and we try this level again and then break it. And then we get this type of movement. But you had your boy Gary Gensler come out and do what he did. So that's why this was done pre-market. All right. So again, AI, Coinbase are 2 trade ideas you guys can take with you over the night, in the morning. All right, there is a big gap here to be filled, and that's where, I have that level already. So just got to wait, all right? You did look at that volume. That's all Kathy Wood's there. So, don't just short because you think you have to. If Bitcoin's going down, there's other things to play. You have Mara, you have Riot, okay? You have MSTR. You have MicroStrategy, okay? These are all other stocks you can play. MSTR, Riot, okay? And it's a $17, $20 stock. So you get like 50 cents, $1, $2, bro, you're getting it. You're on to something. Is there anything else I'm missing? I don't know. I haven't really checked in on oil. Again, we called oil and stuff out a while ago. And look at Mara. Look at it. It bounced right off that 200-day. Boom. That's a beautiful break of the 50. But look, there's your, again, I'm talking about it. Look at this. Resistance. All right. This is what you guys got to be watching for. Watching for. All right. That's what you guys got to be watching for right there. Look at that. Resistance, resistance. Even back here. Look at it. Support, support, support. Broke. Resistance, 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 resistance. Support, support, support. Tried to break it. Held to 200 and said nope. So there was an increase in volume. Look at that increase in volume, guys. All right. These are just the basics. These are just the basics. All right. There's still a lot to learn. There's still a lot to know, and being able to read the market, and not just the news. Being able to read the news, which you got to know how to read the news. If you're going to try and gauge what type of movement we're going to get, but you have to you got to watch price action and volume, your MACD, the tools. You got to put it all together, and that's not even intraday trading. I don't know if you guys see me trade or not, but if, let's just say, I was trading this tomorrow and this was the setup, I would probably be on a 2 minute, 1 minute, or 3 minute, first off. All right, so there's the move, depending on where we broke. If I was playing this right now, all right, I'm wondering, high to low, where's my fib? All right, there's my fib. What does it line up with? Holy shit, look at that. Would you believe it? What is that? That is your 38.2 Fibonacci, lines right up with VWAP. That pink line is VWAP. If this thing pulls back just a little bit, give it a day or two, this thing pulls back into your 32. So what does a 38.2 Fibonacci tell you guys? Your 23.6, your 38.2, your 50, your 60, your 70, your 100. What do these levels tell you? All right, I'm just going to give you a short and sweet answer. This tells you whether the traders are taking profits or are they selling. And you got to use that along with volume. You got to use it all. All right, you guys got to use it all. So if I just see it pulling back and it holds the 38.2, well, guess what? Technically, it's probably more than likely going to hold the 32. Why is that? Because you have the 38.2 fib, you also have VWAP, and then what else do you have? You have previous resistance. So that's going to put in a double bottom. And what are you going to have right here, guys? You're going to have institutional algorithms sitting on this VWAP with orders right on it, right above it, and they're buying. I'm going to show you. I assure you that they're going to be doing that. Let's pull up the 15-minute. This is how you trade, and this is just intraday trading. Okay, so I can't say it with the 9 EMA. I'll have to see it tomorrow. But usually, if I were to get my 9 EMA, which is this yellow line, with a 38.2 and the Fibonacci, you get all three of them matched up, bro. That is the trifecta to an upside or downside that will make your month. All right, that will make your month if that yellow and that VWAP and they all line up, whether it's the 23.6 fib, the 38.2, and maybe even the 50. Because I'm going to do this tomorrow. People don't understand what moving averages are and how they work. If they did, depending on the move, they probably should or should not have pre-market up. Because these moving averages are based on time. Okay? These moving averages are based on time. So the more time you have, the more skewed your moving average is going to be. That's why if you used 100, 250, you want to go back to your daily. That's why you want to go back to a daily, because there are long-term moving averages. Now, my 9 EMA is a short-term moving average for intraday. VWAP, same thing. Intraday movement. I could put a 20-day moving average or a 14-day moving average on here, which if you see a green line, my green line is it's either I'll have it as my 14 or 20. All right. So short-term moving averages for intraday trading, and we keep the longer-term moving averages for longer-term stuff. Now, you may see a bounce, like it bounced here off the 100-day, but I'm telling you, just don't ever plan a trade off of like a 200-day, 100-day, or 50-day, like in intraday. If you're seeing it and if it's hit it not once, twice, but 3 times, then okay. It's hitting that 3 times, then obviously there's some significance there. All right, there's obviously buy or sell orders sitting there. So, so that's a little lesson, guys. When you guys go to trade, if you put or use um multiple moving averages that converge with price action, and they converge at like support and resistance, and then you also have what we call volume, and you get like an increase in volume like on a break, and then on the pullback you get them all matched up. I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna get like I will call it out during the day when I see one. You know, they happen all the time. All right, it's just being able to identify and know what the chart setup is, how to go about like putting yourself in the position and not being scared, not saying, "Oh my gosh, it's like at this level," and it's like, you know, you want a price action like support and resistance is an area. It's not a specific price. Okay, so just keep that in mind. I hope that was helpful, guys. Um, Apple, I think, got a downgrade. They said, I think. I don't know how it traded today. All right, I did look at Apple today. I kind of put in this bull flag. Started to, at least. Dude, what the hell am I doing? I have no idea. I don't know. It's late. I haven't had much sleep at all. Like I said, we've had a lot going on. I was up till 3 o'clock last night and tried to get up at 5:30, 6 o'clock this morning. It just wasn't working. And then I like fall asleep. Then I'm worried. Did I fall asleep behind the behind the screen and push a bunch of buttons? Now I don't have an account anymore. So, but I usually have hotkeys and stuff because my cat walks across my keypad. Oh, real quick, RZNA, I think it was RZNA after hours, and I think there was an offering. Just so anybody that doesn't know knows now. Shit, I think I wrote it down. There was a stock that took off after hours. Yeah, RNAZ. RNAZ. So RNAZ took off after hours. All right, but look, they did an offering. They did a fucking offering. Excuse my language. Of course they did an offering. Assholes. Because I was eyeing up the $11, $12 mark. There was some support areas I seen. I was actually on the road and it popped up on my phone, on the scanner, because I have it also through my phone. So, because I will trade after hours. Sometimes you guys will see me trade after hours. It's not the time for small caps. I think if this company could have just waited, this could have started small caps. I'm still waiting for small caps. The last one we had was FRZA, I think it was. ZA. Yeah. FRZA. All right. And look, I got my Fibonacci still up. That's hilarious. All right. So, I was thinking for this Forza was going to be it. That was going to get us to the promised land, but no. So, small caps aren't in play just yet. And this is not small caps, the Russell 2000 or 3000. This is like penny stocks. So I'm not telling anybody to trade anything, but if you want to be versatile in a market and there's nothing going on in the SPY or Apple or Microsoft or AMD or NVIDIA or AI, you got to look to the small caps. You got to learn how to trade them. I'm telling you right now, a $2 move to $4 is 100%. A $3 move to $10, 200, 300%. Okay, even if you get a $3.50 stock to $4, that's a 50% move, 40% move, whatever it adds up to be. All right, so they're very risky. You need hotkeys. If you don't have hotkeys, I would not suggest trading them. Set hard stops. If you start to see small caps take off and you see me on my screen trading small caps, please just put hard stops in, because you could get what just happened here, what I just showed you guys. Jesus Christ. Come on, I just had it up, and it's going to take it away. That whatever the hell that stock was. You see how quick that stock went up, and traders were trading it. Then they came out with doing an offering. If you don't have like a squawk box or like a news feed, you're not going to know that, and it's going to sell off. And you're not going to be able to get out fast enough because nobody wants to buy it. So you're going to be stuck holding the bag. All right? I'm sure somebody was stuck holding the bag. RNZA, I think. Dude, come on. I'm just trying to bring this up so I can show you guys the amount of time it took for it to sell off. So you guys know RNAZ. That's what it is. RNAZ. It's too close to Forza. You know the letters. That's why I keep trying to spell Forza in my brain. It extended. Boom. Offering. Just like that. I mean, that's a 15-minute. We can go to the 1 minute. I should bring up 30 second. Well, this was a small sell-off. I'm just telling you right now. This here is not the offering. Okay, that is not the offering. All right, you can tell where the offering is at. Where's the offering? This was word of the offering, and then the offering. And I'm going to tell you right now, this thing just swoop, and it's going to go. So this is a 1 minute candle. So look at the volume that started coming in here. This was word of it. All right, and them not telling traders or like this, it didn't come across the wire yet. And then you can see on this candle, and it's probably this candle here is when it came across the wire. If you don't know this, and you attempt to trade after hours or pre-market, guys, you do need to know that you can't. There's no I guess you could, but there is no market ordering in and out, just so you guys are aware. So if you do limit order in a stock in pre-market or after hours, you need to know that you need to limit order out. There is no market orders in pre or post-market. Everything is done by limit order. So and the chances are is why it gets difficult is because you want to limit order, and what if and the stock's coming down and you're trying to limit order, and by the time you get your order out, the stock's already down here. Then you're like, fuck, what do I do? Then you're limit ordering down here. Like, all right, it's at $4.50. Let me just put $3.80. Or I'm just making up a number. I'm just saying. So you need to know what you're doing. You need to be fast. You need to have the right setup if you do attempt to trade not only small caps during market hours, but small caps pre-market and aftermarket. You need to know that because you could get yourself really hurt. You can always just never get yourself hurt and either not play it or like just keep your size down. All right. Then if it's down, it's like, then you're not making any money to be able to. So it's like, that's up to you. If you want to learn how to do it, that's fine. Go ahead. Don't get over your skis. All right. They're a lot of fun. When they get going, I'm telling you right now, they get going. You guys remember HKD? And there's been more. It's not just HKD. I don't know if you guys know or not. Look at HKD. It went from $12 to $2,500. That's no misprint. $12 to $2,500. Okay? I played this thing like 4 times. I played HKD 4 times. And I'm going to tell you right now, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody committed suicide because they got blown up trying to short this thing. And it's sad. But people do it. They get over leveraged. They put their whole account or like they put like a quarter, half of their account. Then they get margin called because the stock went from $15 and it's now at $2,000, and they got to come up with the capital to hold, for their margin requirements for their short position. All right. So look at that. Isn't that crazy? $15 to $2,500. There were a couple others. I seen one about a year ago. I think it went from like 100. Oh, then we had drugs. I think, yeah, we had drugs. I wonder what drugs is. Now I'm all into small caps right now. I want small caps to wake up. We played that. Was that $1 to 4? That's 400% there. Even just catching 2 to 4 is still 100%. You know what I mean? So, was it Tops? There was another one that went nuts. And I think Tops actually just came back in. It just started service. Oh, monkeypox. Monkeypox stuff. That's back in the news. Something about China having a, whatchamacallit. Look, 5 to 256. See what I'm talking about, gang? If you don't have to spend a lot of money to make a lot. And you can't expect this every time either. You're talking a stock that was $3. Okay? $3, $4, $5. All the way up to 250. They will come. You can't try for them. They will come. All right? How many times does 5 go into 300 or just say 200? How many times does $5 go into 200 and say you put $100 on that? I'm not saying you had to catch the whole move, but just do the math. That's what I'm getting at. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. You guys have a great night. Stay healthy, stay green, stay blessed. Okay. I appreciate you guys being here. If you could like, share, and subscribe, I will be live tomorrow morning, 7:30 at the latest. I promise. I will see you all tomorrow. You guys have a great night. Thank you guys for joining. If you guys have any questions or whatever, just post them in chat. I'll get back to them, and I will see you guys in the morning.